Hello, my name is Anna and today we are going to discuss some issues about Redis. Redis is an open source project mainly developed by Salvatore Sanfilippo and many other people who are known as contributors. Now it's supported by Redis Labs, and Redis stands for Remote Dictionary Server. It's an open source in-memory data structure store that is used as a database, as cache and as message broker. It's known as a key value store and often referred to as NoSQL database. The essence of key value store is the ability to store some data called a value inside a key, and this data can later be retrieved only if you know the exact key that was used when you stored it. In order to achieve outstanding performance, Redis works with an in-memory data set. That means that all the data is put in the RAM and all the operations are put into a log. Redis is developed in C. It produces atomic operations and it was developed mainly for POSIX systems like Linux, and OS X are two operating systems that Redis was developed in. They are most tested and it's highly recommended to use them when deploying the system. Nevertheless, if you're a Windows user, there is a Win64 port of Redis that is developed and maintained by Microsoft. The latest version of Redis is 5.05, and you should notice there are lots of advantages of using Redis. First of all, you can store a huge amount of data, and just imagine 1 gigabyte of data per single entry. Redis uses hashing mechanism called Redis hashing. It offers you uninterruptible service due to very good replication, and data replication means that master node is updated and at the same time slaves are updated, or you can use this not automatically, but you can use later asynchronous update too. Redis has lots of clients in most popular languages. Redis offers PubSub messaging system. It allows you to insert huge amount of data using the mass insertion function. Redis can be installed on small devices like Raspberry Pi and ARM, and that's due to it has small memory footprint. By the way, you can use it for developing your system for Internet of Things. Redis supports transactions, and that's good. Your commands can be executed in a single package, not in a queue one by one every time. So here is a table showing you languages that have libraries of Redis. Redis is not a simple key value store, as classically you think that key value store means you have a string key and string value, but Redis is a data structure server that supports different kinds of values. That means that you are not limited only by strings, you can use more complex data structures. So let's have a look. Redis keys. Redis keys are binary safe. That means that you can use any data, any binary sequence as you wish, from a simple string to a content of JPEG file, and even empty string is a valid key. As we have mentioned before, the legal size of key is not more than 512 megabytes. Together with value also of 512 megabytes, that gives you 1 gigabyte of memory, 1 gigabyte of data per single entry. There is a special option for keys. They can have a time to leave option. That means that using command expire in TTL, you may set and check the time the key has to leave. In this example, in the slide, you can see that first of all we set an expired period of 112.20 seconds, and then we once checked it, TTL, how much seconds are still to leave. We got the result 113 seconds, and then we checked it once again after a long period of time and got -2. That means that this key does not exist anymore. It was destroyed. In case we get -1, that means that key will never expire. It has no expiry time. So as I have mentioned, there are lots of data types that Redis can support, and here is a list of some of them. Binary safe strings, lists, sets, sorted sets, hashes, bit arrays or bitmaps, hyperlog logs, streams. Streams are available in Redis from version 5.0 that was shown to publicity in October of 2018. So, comments in Redis. Here are links to full lists of comments in Redis, and tutorial on official site is wonderful, magnificent. You can find lots of information there and very structured in a very good structure. You'll be satisfied with it, believe me. So the type of data you use for values defines the comments that you can use for them. In case you try to use comment that does not match the type of data you use, you'll get a message error. You can see it in the bottom of the slide. Let's have a look. First type of data is string. String is just a simple string. They are binary safe. Strings are binary safe, and that means that Redis string can contain any type of data you wish. In the first example, we set and get our key, and in the second example, it is shown that strings can be used as atomic counters when using incremental family operations. That means increment, decrement, increment by, decrement by. And here is shown in an example. So, next type of data is list. A list is a list of strings sorted by the order they appear in the list, and it is possible to add elements in the head and in the tail of list. So it's very fast when you want to get to extremes of the list, but it's slow when you want to get to the middle. So in this slide you can see that we push some data inside the list, but we push it not one by one, but each item by one by one, but we put it just as a package, and it is possible with this command. Then we get the range back. This type of data supports blocking commands, and when you use push and trim command, you can get a list that never exceeds the number of elements you give and remembers the latest n elements, and it is often used when you want to store some latest items such as social network updates, logs, and maybe something else. So when there is no list and you want to create something or push there something, the system creates it itself. Redis creates it itself. And when there are no keys and no data inside keys, it just removes the keys away. And that's common not only for lists, but also for streams, sets, sorted sets, and hashes. So next type of data is set. Set is an ordered collection of unique strings, and it is possible to move test of existence members and make unions, intersections, and differences of sets in a very short period of time. So they are good for expressing relations between objects and for implementing tags. So next type is hash. Hash is a map between string fields and string values, so it's the perfect type to represent objects, especially when you have lots of different fields for a single object. That means, for example, a user with a number of fields like name, surname, age, so forth. So you can use hundreds of different fields, and that's okay because this type of data can hold it. Sorted sets. Sorted sets are just sets with special score, and score is used to resort sets, and Redis made quite quickly, so you can get everything you want in sorted sets. First of all, it's elements in order. It provides elements in order. It gives you far tests for existence. It gives you fast access to the middle of your set. So everything you want, and generally it's a complicated type of data, but nevertheless it's always used for making leaderboards as far as you can update your information very quickly and resort it. There are other types of data not mentioned in this presentation. The bitmaps, for example, they are used for bit operations or for group of bits operations, and mainly they are used to provide extreme space savings. For example, when you want to save information about your users get and use later, you can do it just in one bit for each person. So, as I have mentioned, Redis supports transactions, and transactions provide your ability to implement some commands together in a single step to proceed them with two main guarantees. The first guarantee is all commands in transaction are serialized and executed sequentially, and that means that no other request issued by other client can be served in the middle of your request while executing your transaction. And other guarantee is either of the commands are implemented all together or none of them are processed, and that means they are atomic. And there are four commands for implementing transactions. They are multi, exec, they are watch and discard. You use exec to use multi to begin the transaction. Then every time you put new command, you get the approval from the server. Then you make the exec and get the result. They usually they are always an array of responses. And after that, you can use watch check and set operation, and if you want to flush off all your data, you use discard. Here are responses that you can get from the server. When you put multi, it replies you OK. Then you put every command inside multi, and the reply is queued. And in case something is wrong, you will get a reply error reply. So that's just some issues about Redis, but unfortunately we do not have time to cover all the other issues you might like to understand and to find out. But I highly recommend you to visit Try Redis EO official website and just have a look at the tutorial. Thank you for your attention, and it's a great honor to study with you in Rolling Scopes. I wish you all the best and have a good day. Goodbye.